that's all behind me. Grown too strong, I don't go down easy. Living for Christ, the best I can. I'm a Jesus girl. All the way. I'm a Jesus girl. You changed my heart. I'm a Jesus girl. Ooh, fall forward, up and over. If I go, it's only higher. No matter where I stand up, it's always on the Lord's side. 'Cause I've been reading. Jesus girl. Hey, Jesus girl.
Happy Wednesday, guys. It is time for the Wednesday's Word for Women show. I hope that your day has been rocking this entire planet thus far. Your week, matter of fact, has been flipping along fantabulously. Also, I pray that you are reminding yourself to be grateful and thankful, because we understand that gratitude shifts our mood. If we flip to the Rolodex of our mind, we can grab a hold of something to be grateful and thankful for, and that will shift us, which in turn shifts the environments we have to be in, the people we have to be with, no matter the circumstances, who it is, where it is, and why we're there. So anyway, I want to really, I'm not asking you to cut off, I'm not asking you to leave friendships or relationships. I'm not at none of that. That is something that, or cancel anyone. That is something that I think take thought and time. And I always believe that there is a way to leave well. Sometimes we're not leaving well. And what I know for sure is if you don't leave well, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to go back and revisit. Because I know for sure, if you have been afforded the open door, surely the exit is going to be provided as well when it is time, and it will not be harmful or hurtful as much as it depends on us. And so I'm not talking about that, but I am going to ask you to look at a couple of things, because I think as I look at the state of where we are right now, I think it is critical that we start to really evaluate within ourselves, yes, but also what we are connected and tied to. I believe it is critical. Some of us, we're doing things, we're wasting energy, time, and resources on things we have no business being, but we staying there because of this sense of loyalty or tradition, or this is just what's always done, or this is where I'm supposed to be. A lot of times we're doing things that are comfortable, and we think this is where we're supposed to be because it's the absence of conflict, or there's no problems, or it just feels right. But how many of us know our feelings are fickle, and when you get to that place of familiarity and comfortability, you really need to evaluate, am I doing all that I can be doing? Is this the right spot for me? Not saying that we should not have peace, but peace is not the absence of chaos and problems. We are living in a world that there is always going to be conflict, always going to be things that we have to deal with. Every day something's going to pop up. But so I'm not talking about you should be living in like turmoil, but I am saying if it is to such a place where there's nothing that you're doing. Living is action. If there's no action, if there's no tension, if there's no conflict, I question, are you doing and being where you're supposed to be? Because there should always be this tension within ourselves and within where we are at. Because if you're showing up as yourself authentically, that is always going to rub and always going to be different from where you're stepping into. So there has to be this tension. Unity is not everything is the same. Unity is we are working, towards a common cause. It is a the bottom line, the big idea we all agree on. And so I'm saying it with differences, there's always something. It shouldn't be, if everybody looks like you, if everybody does the same thing as you, I question that. But that's just me. But this though is what I want to talk about. I think we need to really, really look. Anybody that hears me, everybody that hears me, we need to figure out if people around us or what we're involved in, is this our circle or is this our cage? We need to figure out if people and things around us is our circle, our village, or is it our cage? A circle supports, it checks you, it encourages you, it inspires you, it pushes you to the highest version of yourself. It demands that you become better and better, the best version of yourself you can be in this season and this time. But a cage, it confines, it constricts, it keeps you stagnant, it keeps you stuck. It's satisfied with the status quo. It's okay with you going down roads that is destructive to you. It's okay. It co-signs your mess and your misery. It doesn't challenge it. It doesn't confront it. And so we need to figure out, is this my circle or is this my cage? And I think a way that you can do this is what I want to talk about. I said all that to get to here. I want to talk about emotional intelligence. And I'll tell you why. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, use, understand, and manage your emotions. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of your emotion, to control it, to express one's emotions. It helps us not only control ourselves, but it helps us to clearly see what's going on around us and who's around us and deal with people. It will help us to respond, not react. The lack of emotional intelligence is why we are getting the reactions that we are getting. The absence of emotional intelligence is one of the keys to beefs, to misunderstanding, to arguments, to fights, to people picking up their ball and going home. They were not, they feel their emotional intelligence was somehow abused or was somehow mistreated. And so the tendency is to back away. We protect ourselves when our emotions are involved. We are emotional people. This is not a woman-man thing. We are emotional people. We have, you have anger, you have a sadness, you have love, you can feel joy, you can feel trepidation, you can feel anxiety, you can feel there's so many emotions. And we basically talk about happiness. We basically talk about a couple, but there is a spectrum of emotions that goes from 1 to 100, and we can go from 1 to 100 in a matter of milliseconds. That's why emotional intelligence is so important, and that's why I will go back to, you need to figure out if the people you are around, the relationships you are having, is that your cage or is that your circle? Because of the fact that we are emotional creatures and we can go from 1 to 100, we have to have either your circle is going to support you, or the circle is going to be a cage and confine you, and it will co-sign with toxicity. It will co-sign with our bad behavior patterns we have. It actually wants you to stay in that pace. place. That's why it's a cage. And so emotional intelligence, I think, is something that we have to evaluate not only within ourselves, but within the people around us, because I'm telling you, it's either a cage or it's a circle, and nobody wants to admit that this is a cage for me, because you love them. You always been with them. It's always been that way. This is what this family does. This is what this business does. This is how we've done this ministry. This is how we've done this business. This is how we've done this. And nobody wants to say that this is a cage. This is not healthy. It is not conducive to where we're going. It is not helping us to level up, to go to the next level of what it is we're trying to do. We are going to be caged. We're going to be stuck. We're going to be, at the end of the day, the danger of cages is you will be left behind. You will be left behind. I believe that you don't know what you don't know. I also am one who believes you can't be something you haven't seen. Even you can have the seed of something. You can have the gifts or the talents, but you won't be able to operate in it effectively unless you see or experience the thing. Experience is a teacher. You can have all the book knowledge. You can go take all the classes. How many of you know? Let's take nursing. How many of you know you can take the classes? You can be in that. But it isn't until you get in working on the job of being a nurse that you learn things that was never in the textbook. You keep running up on things. Well, they didn't tell us that. They didn't teach us that. That is because experience is a teacher. And so I am a believer firmly in, you don't know what you don't know. And if you haven't experienced it, if you can't see it, you cannot be it, you cannot achieve it. Some people will argue that. That's okay. I'm just telling you my thoughts. And so we are expecting people who have not seen how or has not shown the capacity to be aware of their emotion, to control their emotions, to handle their emotions. And we are making those things closest to us. We are making that the bulk of our lives, and we wondering why we are caged, we are confined, we are constricted. We have a bunch of folks running around here who are not emotionally intelligent. That's not saying you stupid. That's not saying none of that. It's just saying that they have not been shown. How can you be something you have not seen? We see it in motherhood, fatherhood, womanhood, masculinity, femininity. We see it all. We are supposed to be taught things, and sad to say, there is an absence of some things that we should get that we did not get. But that's where I believe that God will always provide the people, even if it's not traditionally the person that's supposed to be there. It's about to be Father's Day. There are a lot of people who didn't have fathers, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that you cannot be raised to be a man, because there are father figures. It doesn't have to be your bio father. You can be fathered without a biological father in your life. You can be mothered without a bio mother in your life. That's where I believe God steps in and he provides the lack. He does. I know it in my own life. And so I'm not saying that you have to have this, that, or the other, this person, this thing to show you, but you do have to be shown. How are you going to be able to control your anger when all you've been around is people that when they get angry, they pop off, they fight, violence comes. They don't know how to handle or control their emotions. Pain actually and hurt manifests itself. It comes out generally in anger. When you are hurt, you generally lash back. You are trying to protect yourself from that, so you turn nasty or you shut down. So that's what I'm saying. We have to You have to see someone. How do you do a relationship good? Well, you have to see someone loving someone well, not loving someone, always cheating, always treating you bad, always putting you down, toxicity, codependency, always doing that. Well, how in the world would you have the emotional intelligence to then be ready for the good relationship that comes, because you are not emotionally intelligent enough to handle it? And that's no indictment on you. That's no shame. It's just that some people have just had harmful relationships, bad relationships, and so they don't know how to emotionally intelligently handle a good relationship. That's why you're supposed to heal and deal within yourself before you join with another, because we all have some kind of deficit in our life. We all have some kind of thing that we are not emotionally intelligent in. We don't handle it well because we have not had the training or seen the way that it can healthily be done, or a better way to do it. Some of us are confined and caged by our environments or the type of people we be around. That's why I'm saying you got to check, is it a circle or is it a cage? Because you cannot go beyond the spectrum of what you allow yourself to be involved in. And since if you are one that allows yourself to be caged, you're going to do what the animals in the zoo do. When someone goes into their cage, we've seen it from years going by, a bear or a lion or gorilla or whatever, and somebody gets in the cage and then that animal kills them, and then we kill the animal, and everybody's like, what the heck? They're being naturally who they are. Why are they killing the gorilla when it was actually the person that snuck into the cage that is the one that was at fault? But we gonna kill the gorilla for being exactly who he is. He is an animal. He's supposed to be. He is a cage thing that's supposed to operate in this manner, and when he does, we should not be surprised. So that's all I wanted to stop by and tell you. Don't be surprised if you are surrounded by a cage and not a circle. You are going to have all the drama. You are always going to get hurt. You always going to operate in deficit. So check that. Check to see, and that's even within you and me. Check to see, am I loving well? What do I need to work on in myself to up my emotional intelligence, the capacity to be aware of my emotions, to control them, and to express them? So I am a very expressive person, and sometimes people think I'm angry when I'm not. It's just that I get hyped, and so for them, they'll see it as aggressive or I'm angry, and in my mind, I'm like, y'all, what are you tripping for? No, I'm not. But you have to learn to handle your emotional intelligence, because you understand in relationships and in professionally, you have to be able to gauge and have empathy for others and where they're at on their emotional intelligence scale. And then sometimes you're dealing with people who have no emotional intelligence. And so we just have to be cognizant of ourselves, which helps us to be able to clearly be aware of others and gauge the room, gauge the tone, gauge how you should function. It's not flipping. It's not being fake and phony, but it is being emotionally intelligent and knowing how will I most successfully take up this space in light of what I'm here to do in this manner, in this thing. You feel me? So please check. Are you surrounded by a circle with supports, checks, encourage, inspires, got your back when you ain't around? Or you are surrounded by things and people that is a cage that confines, that constricts, that keeps you stagnant, stuck, and that is okay with the status quo? Be blessed. I love you. As always, you can drop a Ask Pastor Payne question. This week we are going to do Ask Pastor Payne the hot topic, but you can always DM me, call me, text me, leave it in the comments, whatever it is you want to do, and we will have you on the show. So, biggest fan, praying for you, love you, peace. Hey, I don't know if that hits you like it hits me, but tying into emotional intelligence, what I talked about, there have been, y'all, 120 mass shootings already in 2021 so far. Like, I mean, babies, kids, gun violence is just off the chain. And if this does not alarm you, I'm going to pray that it does. Because there is a depravity that is running rampant in our communities. And it doesn't stem from, but there is a lot of mental illness that we are not dealing with. There is this, everybody's just trying to get back to life. Well, we're seeing that's kind of hard to just get back to life. We have been all traumatized by the current climates, this whole pandemic that we've been in. Like, the world has been traumatized, and if we think we can just get back to normal and be flipping, just singing the hallelujah chorus in poppy fields with unicorn, we are really, really misguided. I don't care the strongest of person. We have been traumatized by so much. If you think that seeing the headlines is not somehow going to get in you some kind of way, I'm telling you, that's just not true. To see people murdered, everything is video, that plays with your psyche. To see the evil and the harm and the disregard for life, that does something to us. To see how people actually feel about certain things, that does something to you. Now, we can control how it affects us, but I think we're not, I don't know if we're being quite honest about what's going on. We keep trying to make excuses. We keep trying to say, well, it's this, it's that, it's the other. It's a culmination of all of that. You're right. But what do we do? What do we do? 120 mass shootings. We are not a third world country. We are living in war zones. As in third world country in America, you have got to take care of your mental health. You have got to. It is urgent that we start caring for ourselves. I mean, the sheer vastness of negativity we are hit with on a daily is enough to drive someone cuckoo. Loved ones dying, children getting killed, hatred running rapid, prejudice, racism, poverty, inequality, just on many spectrums, not just color, but socioeconomically. All of that stuff, y'all, is a key to why we have had 120 mass shooting, and no one is exempt. No one, we're seeing that no one is exempt. And so what do we do? What do we do? I believe that we have to do something. No, everybody can, you can't do everything, but everybody can do something. What is your something that you can do? What is the burning in your heart when you see something? That's a key to what you can do. Don't focus and trip on what everybody else is doing, but we support the best of our ability those things that are in line with where we want to go and what we want to do. But what is that thing? I need you to do it. I need you to do it because 120 mass shootings already, and it is June. You talking about a hot girl, hot guy summer. It don't get no hotter than this. And so for all of us to sit back and just to keep talking about it and keep talking about it, no, what are you gonna do? That's my question. What are you gonna do about the problems that's facing you right now in your face that you can do? Please do it. I'm asking you, please do it. If nobody's asked you, some people don't do something because they're not asked. I'm asking you, do the thing that you know you can do. Please help. We've got to help ourselves. There's no entity, there's no political party, there's nothing that is going to solve this. It is going to have to come from we, the people. So what can you do? I'm asking you, please do that. Is it youth? Do you have an idea? Do you have some kind of connection? Do you have some kind of influence? Do you have some kind of material goods? Do you have some money? Do you have some time? Do you have some needs to pray on for some things? Do you have just a heart? Those are things that we can do. Don't get caught up in the fact that, well, I can't make a difference. Yes, you can. You can make a difference right where you are. I am asking you, I am imploring you, please do that thing that only you can do. We need you. And so the hot topic for this week is please do you. Love you guys. Your biggest fan. Praying for you. Have a good week. Till next time.
Girl,